and welcome back. This is Audra from Homesteading in Idaho. Alright, let's say you don't have garden space. You don't have a garden plot. You don't have somewhere where you can plant your lettuce or anything for that matter, but you want to grow. So one of the things I can tell you for lettuce is they will grow in a pot this big. This is actually lettuce. This one has one lettuce in it. This one actually has two growing in it. And as I harvest, I just harvest those lower leaves, just like I would do it in the garden, just harvest the lower ones around it. And you'll end up with lettuce. It's kind of fun. It kind of gets tall like a stalk. And I guess you could say it has a mohawk going on. Because as it grows up here, you've got a stem, and then the leaves just keep going. But anyway, I mean, these guys are in a little pot like this. And honestly, if you guys watch like Craigslist, your farm pages, the Facebook marketplace for gardening and farming, stuff like that, you can actually find these for free. Or ask your neighbors. If you have a neighbor, like, thank you to my one neighbor. Well, I have a few, but I have one neighbor that I think she alone can keep me in planters. She's phenomenal. She does a lot of growing herself, and bless her heart, she gives me a lot of pots. And then, like, for mine, like, these ones we just bought from the store. I'll be planting, these are onions, I'll be planting those. I keep, unless these have gotten really bad, and y'all, I've used duct tape or electrical tape or super glue to get these through another season. I will use these as many times as I can. And I just clean them with bleach water. It's a 1 part bleach to 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. And I just bleach them, give them a good cleaning, stack them, and use them the next year or later in that same season. So check your pages. You guys can use, you can find things like this. Do you guys drink Gatorade? Do you drink Powerade? Do you use milk? Orange juice bottles, apple juice bottles. What else is there? Trying to think what all. Don't use tin cans. Don't use anything like that. Don't use the metal containers. But you can use so many different types of containers. Just pop some holes in the bottom so that you've got good drainage for your plant. These guys, it's not fancy. I didn't go buy fertilizer and soil. I didn't. These guys, so in the bottom of your container, whatever it is you're using, put something in the bottom that's going to allow your plant to not bog up with water, because lettuce, remember, it does not tolerate being soaked. It gets very, very unhappy. So a lot of people will throw rocks in the bottom of their containers. I used to be one of those. I used to put rocks in the bottom. I know some people use styrofoam, like packing peanuts and styrofoam, stuff like that. They'll put it in the bottom. I personally don't do that. Not comfortable with that. I actually put wood chips in here, like wood bark sized chips in the bottoms of mine. So when I filled these were actually, these plants I planted in October or November of 2019. So I filled these pots in October. So these were planted in October. I filled these plants about the bottom 2 inches is wood chips. Then I went just to my goat yard where I have aged fertilizer from my goats, and the rest of it's all fertilizer, soil. It's just compost soil. And I planted the seeds on top. And then because we were going into wintertime, and even though I was in the greenhouse, my greenhouse is not heated by gas or electricity. My greenhouse is heated through solarization using water barrels that absorb heat during the day and release it at night. And I also have barrels in there filled with compost that I keep moist so that it's constantly breaking down, creating heat. So that's how I heat my greenhouse. So knowing that we were going into cold months, I actually took some straw, and when these were babies, like now the straw is pretty much broken down for the most part, but when these were young seedlings, I gently had straw around them to protect them. We're going, you wouldn't have to do that now, spring, summer, fall, you wouldn't have to, but it's literally this easy to plant something. And you can get straw for free. Watch Craigslist again, those farm market pages. And you can even use hay. There's people all the time giving it away for free. it's because it molded. Okay, cool. Go toss the molded part in your compost bin. Let it break down for a year. It'll be safe to use later. And you can utilize the dry stuff. So, I mean, okay, these are lettuce that have been growing. So I planted the seeds like the middle of October, and these guys have been harvesting and been growing since November. Like, let's say the first week of November roughly is when they popped. And this is now April. So that's phenomenal. Now, the reason I've gotten such a long harvest on these guys is because it was cold months. They weren't excited by heat and the extra daylight, so they didn't bolt. They didn't go crazy. They didn't bolt. They didn't set seed, and they still haven't. I have no signs on either of these plants buckets that they're going to do that just yet. So don't feel like there's no reason that you can't be planting. You can be planting. Go to your dollar store. I know right now I'm saying go to your dollar store, right? Most stores are closed. I'm sorry. But even put out a notice to your neighbors. You would be surprised who has seeds, and they would give them to you for free. Just explain that you're getting off to your feet, you're getting on your feet with gardening. You're getting kick-started. You're starting up for the first time. You want to do this. You would be surprised at how many people are nice enough to give you some seeds for free, or even seedlings or extra plants. You could be gardening for free. Maybe somebody has too many of these they planted and they'd be willing to sell you a few of them for so much money. Or barter. Do you have something that you could do or give to somebody and they'd give you some plants in return? So get creative, get crafty. What do you have to offer? Are you artsy? Are you inclined in some sort of woodworking way or maintenance or whatever? Get creative. It's not always about money, but find a way and garden. And you don't have to have these fancy pots. I have seriously used the Gatorade containers, the milk jugs. I've used it's kind of embarrassing. I have pots that are literally crumbling and falling apart with duct tape wrapped around them because I'm going to get one more season out of them. So, if it can hold water, poke some holes in it and fill it with some good soil and get planting. That's all there is to it. Well, hopefully I have answered as many questions as possible on growing lettuce. I'm sure I've missed something. If you have a question, please, please, please ask. I'm not going to judge you. I see that all the time where people will ask questions about gardening and they get their heads ripped off for asking a stupid question. There is no stupid questions. We are all learning. I've been doing this for so many years and I still will see a question asked and I'm like, that makes you think. So please, if there's something I haven't hit on, or maybe I touched on it, but I didn't explain it enough, let me know. We could totally talk about it. I'll make you your own video, on something that you're interested in. But please, 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 ask questions. But number one, just plant. Get gardening. If you fail, try again. It's not going to hurt to just keep trying, keep playing. You would be surprised at how many failures I have underneath my belt, how many times I have failed. But when you succeed, it's the most amazing feeling in the whole world. And right now, everybody needs to be trying. Everybody has got to put their best foot forward and give this a shot. Because this doesn't look like a lot, but you'd be surprised at how many salads, how many meals you can make with lettuce. Yep, it's great for a salad. I dehydrate them and sprinkle a little salt on them. Lettuce chips. You can take these, dehydrate them, and grind them up for smoothies. The point is, now is the time to be gardening. Now is the time to be growing your own food. If you have never ever done it before, I want you to try, and I want you to reach out and ask questions. I am very happy to help anybody.